It's been a tough season, a tough split for Cloud9. I'm here with Sneaky at the moment. Sneaky, is this when things start to turn around? Your win over TDK, is that the pivot point that allows you to pendulum back into the top three?
It's the start of a win streak.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. TDK is having some issues. We've been having issues. I'd say it'd been almost very likely that we'd be in relegation if we didn't win this match. But now we still have a chance to not be in relegation.
Now, is that chance that you have to? Do you think that you'll be able to take advantage of that chance, or because you still have another whole half of the split to go starting tomorrow?
I think we can. I don't know. It feels really weird. Like every week, I'm always like, this is where we can turn it around. I think we're getting better as a team. We're seeing a lot of improvement just in everything we're doing. Everything's feeling better, and then we go into LCS 0-2.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. It's hard to really judge nowadays if we're going to be doing 2-0s every week or whatever.
Yeah.
We just kind of have to keep on improving, and maybe that'll eventually come. Maybe it won't come. I don't know.
Now you mentioned that you've been feeling a little bit more confident going into the weekends, but is that based on scrims or just general team mentality? What's allowing you to feel like you should be winning on these weekends?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. Scrims is obviously a pretty big point. We've been finding new ways to really understand how to play the game, like without High doing his thing in the team. We kind of just have to not really rely on Medios, but have him there as like a definitive shot caller for when we need it. So just progressing in our play every week in scrims is really making me feel really good about our weekend games, even if they're going badly upon arrival.
Do you think that it's just a shot calling situation that's holding you guys back, or is it like at this point in time, and obviously this has been kind of a longer conversation starting last split, Lemon, and once I quoted him as saying something like, we don't have a lot of practice with losing or something along those lines. So do you think that there's a mental blocker here that's also causing you guys to have an issue since, like you said, you're somewhat on the path to relegation, which is very unusual for you guys?
I wouldn't say it's like a shot calling issue. Not really at all. It's just we have to play a total different way than what we used to. Because before we would feed information to High, and then he would make a definitive call. But now we can't really do that anymore since we don't have him. We have Medius who he can make calls for us, but it's not like everyone throw information at him and then he'll make a call. He kind of like throws information in the pack as well, and then he'll make a call eventually and stuff like that. But it has nothing to do with him. It's more just about what we're doing as a team. Like if we're screwing up, it's usually just not individual play, but like our overall plan in general is just messed up. So definitely not shot calling on its own. Sure, like sometimes we're not as decisive as we need to be, but we're working on it. I actually think a lot of teams don't really have like a sole shot caller. They actually do it as a whole.
Kind of bounce it back and forth.
Yeah, and then there's like some guy that for some situations you'll listen to more so than others, but it's never just. I think the High scenario is actually really rare for any team in the world. I think if you listen to like EDG comms from what they released on like what is that thing, the Wednesday Primetime League.
Yeah.
They showed some of that, and it was everyone talking in English, like not actually really understanding each other, but they knew what to do in game, and they just knew how to play as a team, and that kind of comes naturally. They didn't need someone there to like micromanage everything they're doing or tell them where to be going and stuff like that. So I think it's just something that we need to keep on improving every week on how to actually play the game.
When you guys do have these 0-2 weekends, what happens afterwards? Like when you get in the shuttle and you head back, is there a lot of salt, or is it you guys being pretty like, yep, we can do this, we just got to figure it out?
Well, usually we get a bunch of time to review the games, so we look at them together, and like I think we got the audio from our games and we like paired it up with the video, so we were just seeing what our mentality was, like what we were trying to do at the time when we messed something up, and we just look over the game in general and just find out what we're doing wrong. And sometimes there's like some salt about what happened, but it's never like ongoing, creating weird relationships with people. It's always coming back and we're okay together.
I mean, immediately following, do you guys talk much after like a bad weekend on a Sunday? Like before you get into the review stuff?
Um, Maybe just brief things, not like totally going in depth because we don't have the replay right after the games. We have to do fan meet stuff, sometimes interviews like these. Then we have to go to the plane, and we're like in a public setting. You can't really talk that well about the game, so we have to wait a while, and we're probably just cooled off by then, and we can have level heads to talk about the game.
When you look at the rise of like a Dignitas or some of these other teams that seem to be doing better than normal, it's kind of interesting for me as somebody that's watching all this because it's weird because it doesn't feel like these teams. Sometimes I question whether or not these teams have gotten better, or if it's just like a team like Cloud9 is fallen off a little bit. You guys have fallen off. TSM, they're looking to swap out an AD carry possibly even. Do you think that some of these teams that are doing better than normal deserve those records, or is it kind of a thing where you guys are like, yeah, these guys wouldn't be doing so well if we were not falling off?
Well, I mean, that would definitely be true if, like, say we were just winning every game, maybe we dropped two. Like, say we lost 2 games, we definitely would be up in the standings. They wouldn't be as high. They wouldn't look as good, but they definitely deserve where they are right now. They're winning games. They're playing well as a team, and we're just not. So they definitely deserve it way more than us.
So what happens if things don't get better? I mean, it's kind of interesting because I remember we were talking to you in Katowice about this for the little captain feature that we did. But there was kind of this interesting moment of what happens if things don't get better, and you guys were like, we might look to replace somebody or whatever, and Hai ended up retiring later on, and that sort of brought about that whole situation with his wrists and all that. But for you guys, like, what happens if things don't get better before the end of the split and you guys have to go relegation? Are you guys like, okay, this might just be an off year, or do you think there'd be bigger ramifications?
I honestly don't know, because if we did go to relegation, I don't know how that would affect the team mentality. Like, maybe it was a result of someone, and then it's like easy to point a finger and change that player. But usually, I think if we do go to relegation, it's probably just going to be on a whole team basis. Yeah. So I don't really know how to deal with that. Like, I don't know if Jack would step in and like maybe bring in super support staff. Like, we're already working towards getting a lot of support. We've done a few things, actually. I think we've used 3 different people. Yeah. But maybe he'll go haywire and bring in 10 people to try and help us out. I don't really know. Like, maybe he'll see some replacements, maybe try some subs, see if things work out. It's all up in the air if we do go to relegation. Maybe we will stick as a team. I don't know, because like I said, every week is feeling better for us as a whole, but obviously we haven't had any real results to back it up, our improvement. But maybe every other team is also improving at the same rate. I don't know. Hard to really tell.
Stinky, is there anything you would like to say to any of the Cloud9 fans out there?
Thank you guys for sticking with us. I know it's some hard times, but we're definitely trying our best every week to help improve. I don't think we're ever sitting there trying to make you guys feel bad. Maybe you feel a little bit like CLG does every season, but you'll get there. We'll go back to Cloud9.
You have to always have a little bit of drama, right? It gets boring if you guys are winning everything.
Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious in like the Team Liquid and TSM episodes. Yeah. Like, I kind of stopped caring about both of them because they're not really having any issues. And then the total drama comes in. It's like, ooh, I'm going to rewatch the last episode, see what was going on, and then I'm going to watch the next one. Yeah. Way more interesting drama. Yeah. That's what we're going for. We love the drama.
If only you guys had your show going right now. That would be exciting. Thank you so much, Sneaky, for the interview. Really good to talk to you and sort of have a glimpse into what's going on behind the scenes. Hopefully for you guys, this is the pendulum, the TDK pendulum that allows you to pivot forward. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things League of Legends at GameSpot.com/LOL.